Sorry about that. My stream just crashed completely randomly, as it can sometimes. Um, as far as I can see, everything should be running good again. So my apologies on that. I guess that's the price you pay for not having a designated stream computer. I'm trying to do 17 things at once. You'd hope the 64 gigs of RAM you spent $1,000 on would take care of that, but turns out people have two computers to stream for a reason. I think just the CPU and GPU get overloaded sometimes. Looks and sounds good, yay! Alright. Anyway, I've completely lost track of what I was talking about before, but I guess I'll just get back on this teacup. So I was just kind of working a little bit more reflective blue light in there. And getting down to the nitty gritty, I would say this is the areas where you can like push the randomness a little more. Same sort of thing where you, like if you were playing jazz and you wanted to like throw in a chromatic note for flavor, these are the spots you can do that in these ambient light areas. You can kind of say like, okay, well, like the nuke is giving off a lot of red, right? And there's a lot of blue ambient light in the cold, so that's going to create a lot of purples. You can still, allows you to choose from magentas and fire reds and kind of use those for shadows, and just sort of play with it. I mean, really, like the one control you can guarantee yourself quality with is just to make sure your values are okay. You know, you can split hairs about what's the right color for sure, but like if you're like, I want the picture to still read no matter what color, then just like make sure it's dark or light enough. And then I think that's where like the playful factor comes in. So you're not so concerned with the right color, but you're concerned that it's like light or dark enough. And start there. And I think the rest you'll sort of find. By the way, anyone hopping in, my bad. I just disconnected, so if you see a duplicate stream title, that's why. So unfortunately, because I crashed, everything crashed, and I lost the crack in the teacup. So I have to do that again. We're gonna have to do a another crack in the teacup. I don't think I have a recovery file, unfortunately. So our perfect teacup crack is gone forever. And you know, that's the cost benefit analysis of digital art, for sure. Is like, you know, do you want to take the risk of your computer malfunctioning on something you put 60 hours into? And that's definitely, I didn't put 60 hours into this, but I'm just saying, like, there's people that put a lot of work into their art. It saved right up until after the rim light, so yeah, I'm actually noticing now. Yeah, I didn't save any of that, did it? So we can. I remember what I did for the most part. Anyone knew we're apocalypting Disney. I noticed a lot of you hopped in on Facebook the second time I started. But if you're one of those people that like to rewatch streams, you can go check out the first one. I won't delete it. But basically, yeah, I just disconnected pretty bad. I'm gonna get back the reflective light I put in here. I was enjoying the way that looked. My color picker ain't showing up. You'll thank me later in the time lapse, so sorry for any program nerds that want to see what I'm doing. give myself epilepsy later in the video editing. But you know, when your work gets deleted and you gotta do it again, it's a chance to do it a little better. Use what you learned last time. Maybe iterate on it a little bit. Dead King, what's going on, brother? Good to see you here. Just wanted to say hi. I'm so glad you did. Hope you have a great day, man. Here's the zoom out for you, in case you didn't get a chance to see it. But salute to you, brother. Hope you have a great day. Thanks for hopping in. I just realized that it does not matter how expensive the pencils, watercolor crayons, etc. are. It matters about how talented you are. That is very true. Up to a certain point. So, I think, again, here I am with the music references, right? So, like, if you hand an extremely fluent guitarist a guitar with very high action to the point where the thing is, it hurts to play, right? It's like he'll be able to play one song for you, but he's not gonna be able to perform it at his most peak level. He'll get through it, but and he'll get through it to the point where the average ear, it'll be very convincing and very impressive. But I think where tools meet mastery is where you get to a certain point where having the best possible materials bring your level just that much higher, and it helps everything. It just helps everything along. And like the same thing goes for art supplies to a certain degree. So like, and I would say it's more forgiving even in art supplies than a guitar. So the guitar is like a harsher example than art supplies. I'd say you can get farther with cheaper art supplies than ever these days, especially because just art supply chemistry has gotten better. They make better things for cheaper these days. So you know, you can get an Arteza gouache set and, you know, compare it to $15 a tube gouache and be like, oh, you know, it's not that much different. Totally leveling with you there. However, I think the more hours you spend painting and the more things you experiment with, you start getting more fussy with like splitting hairs and things that happen at like more subtle levels. And so I think that's like, for me, that makes the existence of more expensive art supplies worth it. And I think that leads me into the next thing, which is like navigation of like actual good art supplies. So like, I feel like there's art supplies out there that claim they're good but they're actual garbage, and so like that comes through trial and error. But like, when you actually do find a really good art supply, it's like you never go back, because it's like it just, the way it helps you in all these little areas. Like for example, some gouache can be very sticky. And like what I mean by that is like when you try to spread it across the paper, it kind of, it's hard to explain. It's like it kind of, so you know, if you ever got a new debit card in the mail or a new credit card in the mail, and then it has that like sticky stuff on the back of it that sticks to the envelope, and you can like roll it off with your thumb. That's kind of what happens with cheap gouache. And it's like, I would rather spend $5 extra a tube to not have the nuisance of that building up on the paper, because I just get it done that much faster. I can strike the brush stroke I need that much sooner, and to me that's worth the extra penny. And that doesn't go to say that like I couldn't, through just tweaking and tweaking, getting the cheap gouache to look the same way. So like, it's half true. if not 75% true. So you definitely make a valid statement by saying that it doesn't matter, but I wouldn't say that it doesn't. It like I would say that it's not a total. It's not totality. Bearded Bob, what's up, dude? Stopping to say hi and keep up the great work. Thank you so much, brother. I appreciate that. We gotta get some arena games in soon. Whenever the stars align, no pressure. But I have been addicted to the enhancement shaman again. But particularly the Lava Lash build. Screw your fucking Wind Fury build, alright? I'm committing to Lava Lash. I'm tired of the meta. I don't understand the concept of talent. My brain wants to answer that in 14 ways. I found I have a weird addiction to Ellie. I don't blame you. Let's do Ellie Enhance. The thing is, like, Ellie's my main. I've been playing it for like 19 years. So it's like, Ellie's just like my homeboy. Go to like home base class. Always Ellie is king to me. So when I hear someone playing Ellie, I'm just like, welcome to the club, brother. Another Ellie brother. Ellie is in the best state it's ever been, in the sense that you don't have to worry about getting kicked at all. Like, if anything, you're happy to get kicked. You just like hope you get kicked so that you can just free cast those lava bursts. It's just, everything's instant cast. You don't even have to worry about getting cast off. If you do the insta build, of course. That's ret for me. I got a lot of flack for it though. Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, you're a master ret, dude. When you get on ret, I know I'm not gonna be number one on the DPS charts anymore. But I'm loving the secret lava lash build, man. That stuff, the damage comes out sneaky. I like that sneaky damage. They don't see it coming. I don't like the predictable goes. You're like, oh, okay, he popped Ascendance. Oh, there's Doom wins. Oh, he's doing the thing. CC him for 5 seconds and then it's gone. I like that sneaky sustain. That's also why I like Shadow Priest. Shadow Priests are sneaky as hell, man, with their damage. Yeah, I know we just nerded hard on Warcraft, but it's all good. This is technically, you know, if you looked at my video history, it's like technically a gaming / art channel.
No one's surprised.
We do Zelda. We are working our way through Zelda at the slowest pace in history. So you speed runs, I do like the opposite of speed runs. Slowest run ever, world record of Ocarina of Time. Smite the enemies with holy justice or something. Yeah, of course. May you rise from the ashes of the phoenix and smite people down with your holy light. Something like that. I think I've had enough of this tea mug. Oh wait, no, we gotta add the crack. That's what happened. That was the tragedy. Am I still streaming? I just had like a moment where I was like, oh shit. Alright. 11 people watching on Facebook. I wonder who it is. Thank you. Y'all are welcome. Any day. I try to do it as often as I can. I get over ambitious with my I'm gonna stream every day shit.
Conversations we think of it, because apparently there's a Disney movie called Elemental.
Oh yeah.
And I almost put it on out of curiosity.
It's like,
I should probably watch it.
It's all about elementals.
Tree Disney.
Nice. I'm down. I love elementals. I'm telling you, that first crack I drew, it was the most perfect crack of my career. We're gonna look back on that when I'm 90. Be like, remember that crack you drew? It's like, you know, sometimes you just get them so good, it'll never be the same. That's okay. And you know what? Like, see how much time I've already spent on this new one, and how easily I got the other one. I think that's like the best testament I could possibly demonstrate accidentally to like playing on the canvas and not thinking about it too much. Have fun, man. Peace. Peace out, brother. Hey, it's Jay. Salute. Welcome, the snowman. Good to see you here, my friend. I will give you a zoom out in 1 second here. I know you said you wanted to see the progress of the Disney painting. By the way, the gouache has arrived, as well as the cookies. Thank you. I know you guys know I was obsessed with those cookies, and I ate them all. Didn't leave any for anyone else.
I had one.
And she hated them.
I didn't hate
No,
them.
I'm just kidding.
I don't understand.
I had to bust your balls on that because it wasn't the most amazing experience of your life
For 30
instantly.
minutes, I might as well let you have it. Monster.
I'm a snack monster for sure. It needs to look more like it got smashed because it was flowing in a rapid flow of water. Energetic about the paint strokes. Sometimes drawing's that literal. Like, how do I get more energy in my drawing? Like, literally draw your pencil stroke faster. It's one of those things where you gotta, like, see what I mean on your own time. There's a book called Drawing with Force. There's 3 of them. I'm still working on the first one because it's just one of those things you open one page and you're like, all right, that's 3 months of drawing before I can turn the page. But like, one analogy that sticks with me is, and I can't remember. I wish I could just grab it. It's in my bag, huh? But because I want to give like a shout out to the author. But he talks about drawing lines. The whole book's mainly about lines, and there's a whole fucking language around lines and how crazy, like, you could spend your whole life just getting a mastery on drawing lines. That's it. He talks about drawing lines on the paper, and when you're drawing a line, like, I'll just do this. I'll just like put my brush black. So like say we're drawing a line like this. He explains, imagine ice skating, and when you take a turn, like you're really light on the ice, right? As you're doing a stroke this way, but the second you have to turn with your ice skates, you kind of have to dig into the ice, right? And so you think about that light, dig into the corner, light, dig into the corner, and strangely enough, when you actually apply those physics to your lines, they actually demonstrate those that type of energy on the paper. And the way he describes it, he talks through the medium of drawing human figures. So it's also a great book if you're trying to learn how to draw human figures. But it's really fascinating, like, to think of lines that way. He also talks about making sure to think about gravity and how things sag, and the forces that create into other lines. And he breaks it down to all these different things and how there's certain curves, and there's only like 2 categories or 3 categories of things. I haven't memorized the whole book yet. Like I said, I'm still going through it. I get through 1 page and like it improves my drawing instantly. It's one of those books, and I have to do like 7 paintings before I'm like, I feel good about getting to the next thing. So definitely check that out. But the reason why, that whole rant to say, the reason why that first crack in the mug came out so kind of like naturally and fast is because I drew it with force, basically, and I took the thinking out of it and let the sort of physics draw it for me. And there's a lot of subjects in drawing, sure, that aren't that literal, but there's a lot of things in drawing that do demonstrate that. Water ripples, for example. Anything you're drawing that like has physics involved, you can almost draw it on the paper with the same physics. In like kind of almost literal ways. Like clouds are fluffy, you gotta like fluff them up with the brush. Water flows, you gotta make sure all the lines connect. Water starts looking like ice. So there's this weird thing when you try to draw water, it'll start looking like a frozen lake of ice. And the reason that happens is because the lines aren't connected. It's basically, and it's happening here a little bit, like I'm not 100% happy with my water highlights. water is looking a little bit more like jello than it is like still flat water. Thing is, I've been torn on if the water's flat, like perfectly still, or if it's like had a little wind today. So I've been waffling between those two versions of the water. But anyway, yeah, connect your lines in your water, because if you watch water in real life, you don't just have like a line that stops unless there's like a really special case, like there's something under the water causing turbulence or something weird like that. But water overall, it connects. It's just things have different features like that. Worth exploring the chaos in that sense. So I want to finally add some fire to the windows here. I've been excited about this, and I just gotta do it and get the first flame in there. Okay. I also realized that anime is still not my strong suit, because I realized anime art style has mostly angles and less circles. And anime, I would say anime is one of those styles that has a lot of rules in order to look the way it does. So like if you don't learn those rules, it's difficult. So like if you want to be a good anime artist, you have to study exactly what makes anime look like anime. I used to try to draw anime a lot, and I don't anymore, just simply because it doesn't interest me as much as other subjects. But just like copying anime characters isn't gonna help you as much as understanding like what makes an anime character look like an anime character. And I'm not well versed in anime enough to like give you a quick like words of wisdom on that, but it's one of those things where it's like, you know, the eyes are generally bigger and sparklier, obviously. Like there's certain ways they break rules of anatomy. So like if you study a human body perfectly, you learn the stuff like, oh, it's 7.5, 8 heads tall for a perfect male, and then like, you know, the 4.5 for like a kid, and like they have like all these different metrics you can use. And styles like anime exploit certain features and they stretch them out. So it's like you have to learn like, what does anime do to the normal measurements of a human body, and that will really help you out. Always target the structure of something and not its final result. What's the skeleton of it? What's the most common denominator essence of the thing you're trying to draw? Because that will make it look like what it looks like. Like the best practice of drawing, like that's why they teach you to draw like silhouettes of things before you get into the detail. Draw literally. If you can make your drawing readable in one pure black color over a white background in a silhouette shape, it's done already. And I know that sounds crazy, but like, there's literally a simplest form of everything, and it's way simpler often than I even think. It constantly surprises me every day that I delve into that way of thinking. And when you start there, like, you start finishing everything way before you start detailing everything. And it's almost like when you do it right, there's this like kind of magical fun thing that happens with the details, to where it doesn't become really a question anymore what you have to add, because you've made your original idea so strong and so readable that you can just fill in the details without even thinking. And it's one of those things where you experience it again and again, you know what I mean? So the thought I have about the fire is I need to separate it from the color palette of the nuke, which is very similar. For my photo references of nukes, they sort of have this it's much more red. It's like, it's not as red as you'd think a fire would be. So maybe if I just come more towards campfire colors, I'm gonna approach this in a watercolor fashion. So fire starts at white and sort of moves its way towards pink, magenta, and red. And you might think that like pure red's fire. It doesn't quite. It's like it happens less. Like the pure reds and fire are much less than like the oranges, yellows, whites, and like pinks and weird magentas. There's like these weird magentas and pinks that happen on the things that are burning. And I find myself going back and looking up photo references of fire all the time to kind of remind myself. And you know, don't be afraid to do that as an artist. Like, let that shit go. Like, stop caring so much that like you have to look up a reference. Like, seriously, if I could go back and like come down like the Lion King, like in the clouds, and like talk to like my younger Simba self, I'd be like, Simba. I'd be like, stop caring that you have to look up what shit looks like. Like, drill that into your fucking brain. I mean that, because like it doesn't matter. Like, you need to learn what the world looks like, and I think I would have saved so much more time, and I would have gotten so many more accurate drawings out if I just spent time studying